Hello, hello, and welcome back to Starsector. Well, I'm fighting more remnants, but this time with my Astrals, so let's get right into it, and I'll explain everything I've been thinking, everything I've been testing, and whatever. Alright, first things first. I found that just bringing in my Astrals, even with Cruiser Escort, wasn't working for me. I found that these remnant battleships, they just teleport in and they just murder whatever they like. You really need either a mobile front line or a strong front line. I've opted to go for a strong front line. So I've brought my Paragons in with their sort of main pulse laser build. They're pretty good. They can kind of do most of the battle themselves, so it does feel a bit cheaty, but it does alright. It's not too bad. So let's I'm going to deploy 2 Paragons and my Astrals. There, one there. You two, I want to stick there. You two, I want to stick there. Alright, as for my next point, I've been going over various builds for these Astrals and what fighter loadouts they should have and what I'm expecting them to do on the battlefield, other than be this guy and run up to the front lines. I don't know why they've chosen to. It's probably because I've assigned you to the wrong place. Yes, it's because I'm a fucking moron. No, not you. You. Right, let's go. Ah, yes, technical issues. Lovely. But yes, I've been going over various builds for these Astrals, and I've come across 2 general sort of ways of going about thinking about using carriers. When it comes to bombers, they're very good at focusing their firepower on a single target and then running away and not being distracted by everything else and doing all sorts of other jobs. But they're not very distracting. If you can't kill the enemies with bombers like this, then they're kind of just wasting their time. Fighters and interceptors, however, are amazing at distracting and just getting in the way and fooling around with the enemy AI. They're really, really good at that job. But if you don't have a critical mass of them, they tend to just get murdered for lurking around too long, and they often get assigned to just escort duty or just anything else that it just isn't useful. So, 2 ways of thinking about using carriers, especially against the remnants, is do I want bombers to go out and kill individual targets, or do I want, and like, without the expectation that they'll be able to hold them back, or will leave them to sit behind a battleship or something else of this sort of style? Or do I want just a huge swarm of fighters that will distract the enemy, keeping my carriers safe, and will just slowly cut them down? With the expectation that either or tactic might not even work in the end. I've gone for bombers this time because I found that 4 Astrals doesn't provide enough fighters to get the job done. Not before one of the Astrals ends up getting murdered by an enemy battle team. And so I've been testing this over and over and over again, various different builds, various different fleet compositions, and my fleet has just been getting slaughtered. So this is a bit of catharsis for me. What I was doing earlier on today was I was testing out Paragons with beams on them with the expectation that they would keep the enemy at bay long enough for the carriers to do all the work. But I found that just wasn't working for me. The big problem was, as you can see here, these pulse laser battleships are just killing the enemy frigates, just outright. The beam battleship would get distracted before that would happen, because it relies more on continuous focused firepower more than its burst sort of DPS. Its burst firepower with these pulse lasers means it can beat down the defences of a destroyer or a frigate and kill them, removing them from the battle completely. But that wasn't working with the beams. So I'm just using my regular sort of battleship that can 1v1 an enemy remnant battleship. And with the bomber support, it should be alright. It should be alright. 4 different loadouts on these bomber carriers. They've got 4 longbows each because these remnants have just ungodly amounts of shields that I feel like they just need it. And any additional longbow shots into the armor just EMP the enemy ship, reducing its ability to defend itself, which can be really useful. That means even if you're not cutting through shields anymore, you're turning off perhaps the point defense guns or the main cannons, and that's really nice. So I've got 1 Astral with the Trident bombers, the most expensive sort of bomber in the vanilla game. I'm not a big fan of these torpedoes. They don't track as well as a harpoon missile does, and they do half the damage of a Reaper torpedo. The only advantage of these is that you're simply firing so many, and the bit of tracking is nice-ish against enemy like frigates and shrouds. It's nice, but to be honest, I don't think they're very good at actually just killing them. I like the Cobra bombers, as you can see here, because they just do enormous amounts of damage. Sure, they're only firing 2 torpedoes. Well, each wing has 1 bomber, and so it's only firing 1 torpedo, making them vulnerable to being shot down. But at the end of the day, if the torpedo gets through, it's 4,000 damage. If it doesn't get through, it's 0 damage. But I'm not concerned, really. Usually, there are enough distractions here, there, and everywhere with all the rest of the bombers going on that's not something I feel like I have to be really concerned about. The other 2 carriers, one of which has the Perdition bomber. Essentially, they are the Melodic Path, Melodic Church, wherever they are, sort of makeshift bomber where they turn a shuttle into a torpedo bomber. They are, in my opinion, a poor man's Cobra bomber, like Cobra torpedo bomber. They are really good, in my opinion, because you're splitting the torpedo in half, and so they're each doing, I believe, 2,000 damage. And so if one gets shot down, maybe the other will get through, and you're still doing half damage. They're pretty good. They used to come in wings of 3, and so in the last patch, so it used to be a contender for, in my opinion, the best bomber in the game. But yeah, no, they're really handy. They're easy to find because everyone hates the fucking Luddos. So yeah, I highly recommend them. Now an interesting choice of bomber here, excluding the other bombers. I can look back in for a second. These flash bombers, they drop proximity mines not very quickly. You'd think that they're a really shitty Piranha type bomber and shouldn't be worth using. I would disagree. I think that the Piranha bomber, while not particularly great as a bomber in any sense, is really good at dealing with enemy carriers. Because it's dropping proximity mines, something that the only other bomber that I know of that does, well, the only other strike craft that does that is the Wasp Interceptor, which drops proximity mines when it goes into combat, which is really good at shredding enemy strike craft. These bombers play a carpet of slow-moving proximity mines, and if you're dropping them in front of a enemy carrier, if they're not shooting them down, say with like Vulcan cannons or anything, then the entire enemy wing, likely moving to intercept your bombers, is going to fly right into them and get absolutely slaughtered. And it's hilarious. I love it. So, honestly, great anti-carrier bombers. And perhaps maybe the only carrier bomber. Anyway, alright, so the other bombers, basically the kind of like the Tridents, but they've only got 1 of the yellow torpedoes. They're pretty common to find. If you don't have anything better, then yes, in my opinion, they're an upgrade from the Piranha bombers, because the Piranha bombers just can't. Just can't. But I'm not a big fan of those. The Kopesh bombers, the rocket bombers, they're not as gargantuanly overpowered as they used to be, but they're pretty good. If you can't find, in my opinion, a proper torpedo bomber, a rocket bomber will do just fine. They're alright. They're pretty nice. And then finally, everybody's favourite punching bag, the Piranha bomber. I want the Piranha bomber to be good, I want it in my soul, but fuck me, is it terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. It lays down a carpet of slow-moving bombs, not as slow as these proximity bombers. At this point, like, my Astrals aren't even involved in this goddamn fight because he's running away. But yeah, they drop down a wave of bombs, which is okay at sort of fucking up point defense screens, especially if enemies are using sort of, I want to say, slow firing rate point defense, like if they're using point defense lasers or maybe just point defense lasers or burst lasers. You can just absorb so much of that fire that enough bombs might get through, but fuck, the enemy can just drive out of the way. And then you're just sort of like, well, you know, what was the point? If they do manage to hit, they're really good. But on the kind of targets that you'd really want to use a Piranha Bomber on, say like a low-tech battleship, they're covered in fucking Vulcan cannons, which shred incoming bombs like it's nobody's business. So, yeah, I don't know. I really do want the Piranha Bomber to be really good, but it's just not. It's not. Enemy battleship, you've got 21 HP. Can we wrap this up, please? You fucking asshole. Stop reversing and fight me! Ugh. No, I really do like this loadout on the Paragon. It probably doesn't need the lances at the back. You probably just put a couple of gravitons there, but I mean, it's alright. I quite like it. Sweet. Another battleship fleet down. I'll try and get in another battle before I wrap this one up. Because, to be honest, a lot of this fight has just been watching the battleships have the living fuck kicked out of them. Refining? Oh, it's never refining mode. Right. So, carrier fighters. I want to use carrier fighters. Use the Drover. I want to not use the meta because I'm a weirdo, like IGN is. George. Whatever the fuck I'm calling myself these days. I mean, mate, just use the Heron. They're not too bad. Pretty good. I never know when to use fighters and when to use interceptors. My general theory behind using one or the other has been that fighters are helicopter gunships and interceptors are, well, they're fighter planes. I'm not sure I feel comfortable really fighting either of these fleets. I can give this one a go. But yeah, like, I never quite know when to use one or the other, especially when you have the Thunder fighter, which is called a heavy interceptor, which just confuses the fuck out of me. You're using this arbitrary naming scheme. Okay. Could you, like, stick to it? Please? Before the other one jumps in. I don't know. When it comes to which fighters I would say to use, I would say use Wasp interceptors, just like everyone else is saying at the moment, because why the fuck would you not? What the fuck am I doing? I'm not even paying attention because I'm just talking. Yeah, use Spark interceptors because they have the same kind of burst laser that you would put on a frigate, and that burst laser does more damage than the most point defense weapons. It's a point defense weapon, so you just fucking rip apart anything. Yeah, most of these are Sparks. In critical numbers, they're the most powerful fighters in the game. I don't really mind because these are robots. Sort of like in-game threat. You can't build your own. See, look, all those fighters just got deleted. Yeah, these bombers aren't good, but fuck me, are they just opening a hole in the enemy lines? man, does it feel good when my battleships beat theirs. Look, he's got 5 Tachyon Lancers. You can't get through my shields with that, buddy. Nice try. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm right on the ball when it comes to those proxy bombers. Really good at killing enemy carriers. Or at least, like, dealing with them enough that they're not a problem anymore. Considering that these proxy bombs are HE damage, that wasn't bad flux on that enemy battleship. But yeah, if my battleships have low flux, those Tachyon Lancers do nothing to me. Because the piercing effect where they EMP through the shield only works when you're in high flux. So, you're useless. You are useless, as I tried to say before I fucking chugged down an entire week. What I said to myself an entire week. Yeah. Topic. But yeah. I think I'm moderately happy with the loadouts I got on my carriers. I'll show you at the end of the bit after this battle. I think that's pretty good. I'm quite content with my loadout for my battleships. It could probably be improved, but other than that, I'm not worried about it. I quite like it as it is. I was, originally I was going to use conquests to escort my carriers in, but I don't know if on my conquest video I did a little while ago, maybe a month ago now, if I even took them against remnants, because I probably didn't, because the builds I've got on them, they just can't. They can't survive a battleship. They don't have the speed for it. They've only got 45 speed, which I found incredible. I mean, like, what did battleships have? 33. Well, I mean, they've got officers in them, but yeah, 33. Conquests are not nearly as fast at base level as, like, the Odyssey? Whatever it is, the other high-tech, the high-tech battle cruiser. So they just couldn't run away. They just got murdered. Right, this battleship's in a bit of trouble because it's just being focused down by opponents that can't get finished off. Of course, with every enemy dealt with, then that makes it a little bit easier. Strange loadout on that battleship. Straight up engage him and engage him. But yes, I found it particularly difficult to use these Astrals because in my loadouts I haven't been arming with any weapons because the general principle behind it is that their job is to carry the strikecraft into battle, use their teleport back ability to bring them back, and that's it. They're not supposed to be fighting, they're not supposed to be providing direct fire support because that's the whole point of the carried strikecraft. It is a carrier, it carries strikecraft. It shouldn't have to carry its own guns because then what's the fucking point of using a carrier? You might as well just use a battle. But it also means that if these carriers get caught, their long-range point defense can't deal with this. They have to use their strikecraft, and if their strikecraft are gone, particularly in the case where they have fighter strikecraft, where their fighters have to stay near an enemy target to slowly grind down and kill it, then they're basically defenseless. And if you've only got, say, like 2 battleships deployed, like my fleet, they can't get to the other side of this super carrier to defend it from something on the other side. So they just get murdered so quickly. So that's going to be a brutal. Yep. Always bring enough longbows to finish the job. I've kind of allowed that battleship to pull me out of position. I don't like that. This guy is at least being escorted. Out of the bombers that I brought with me, I'm hard pressed to say which one I would prefer. Like, obviously the proximity mine bomber is a use case sort of scenario, where it's like you wouldn't want to use it normally against carriers. You might, like enemies with loads of fucking strike craft, you might want to use it simply to make their strike craft pointless. But the Cobra versus the Perdition, I'm hard to say. I would find it hard to say. I like the Reaper simply because the big red death torpedo, personally, but I could definitely see these Perdition bombers being very, very good. The Trident bombers, I suppose, if you want a tracking bomber, a tracking sort of missile torpedo bomber, then you might as well go for the Trident, simply because it's firing more of them. It does take a lot more OP points to use, but quite frankly, it's the best tracking torpedo bomber in the game, in the base game. So, yeah, why the fuck not? What happened to you? You took a lot of armor damage. I guess you got flanked, which is what I was worried about. That or you turned off your shields like a fucking moron. Because I've seen them do that before. Yeah, I'm really liking sort of undergunning my ships. Like, it doesn't need more than this. Anything more would be superfluous. Yeah, and with my my superhero character, that battleship is probably the strongest, one of the strongest ships in the game I'm allowed to have. Excellent shield use by the AI. So goodbye. You two, just go home. You're fucking way too far away. Go home. Allow the Mars to deal with this. He's taking hull damage from that graviton. He doesn't want to turn his shield on. There's no way I, in person, would have the human reactions to turn that shield on in time to absorb that tachyon lance burst. You'd have to be superhuman. No real human has reactions that fast. Why is the end of these battles just taking for fucking ever? Fucking asshole. Just you wait until the carriers get in range. Man, does it feel nice to have a burst of fire that can outflux a radiant battleship. Actually just get on my level, scrub. Ah, here they come. Every little helps. Because with a lot of his armor gone, even those kinetic shots will do a lot of damage to his hull. I can't tell. Did it teleport back before launching the torpedoes last time, or did the torpedo bombers just get murdered? Yeah, it teleported back without launching the torpedoes. I mean, it's not really necessary. But mate. Yeah, longbow bombers, I would say, are in their own class, because you don't have any other bomber that can deal with shields. is wrong with me? Pick up the cargo pods, you fucking moron. Right. Let's look at the fleet of my characters first. This is my personal character. He is a death-dealing insane man. Insane woman. These are my other officers. They're all aggressive because anything else just feels too timid for me. And now for the fleet. Oh, excluding the support fleet. Got the Lord, the God, the Emperor, and the Baron. Got the Mars, the Jupiter, the Neptune, and the Saturn. And then I've got the Suns, which I didn't get to use, but I bring them along because I just love Sunders now. I'm gonna save just in case I make a complete ass myself. Be sure I'll fight this. The key is to not. Jesus, that compass readiness is fucked. The key is to not underestimate your enemy. Because I've done that fucking way too many times, and it bites me in the arse every time. But I still continue to do it every fucking time. I hate it. It's my weakness. Righty-roo, let's get to the fucking duck hunt, I was gonna say? Does that even make sense? Look, could we let the enemy damage our holes, please? And not each other? You fucking monsters. Is that a mining laser? Mining blaster. Yeah, these longbow bombers have point defense on them. Oh, nice. Yes, I'm hitting a lot of targets, but they're running away before I can finish the job. So they're getting to refresh their flux, whereas my battleship can't. Torpedoes here. Yes, carriers. Delete the enemy fleet. We'll have to deal with this bullshit. Right, scruffing the armour a little bit on my battleships. It's all part of the experience. What's the other side doing? You ain't got no fucking problem whatsoever. Like to try a fleet of all sort of beam ships. Give that a go, but if they don't have enough sort of concentration, I want to say, to actually start taking down ships, then you get a problem where they're just firing their beams in every direction at everything and doing nothing with them, which is so frustrating. AIs like this, do they use hardened shields? Or is their shield efficiency... Their shield efficiency is 0.48. It's only just a bit, like, worse than mine. Fuck. Like, I knew these cruisers were good, because they're, like, carrier cruisers that can carry, like, battleships. These things really need this. They do like 250 DPS, but against shields, that's 500 DPS. They don't have the greatest range, but quite often you end up being in close range anyway. Huh, the proxy mines stop missiles. Another bonus. 30 speed for these battleships. I would like to at some point to make like a real sort of hegemony sort of fleet and sort of do the whole hegemony first AI war thing where they have to take down the AI fleets using nothing but grit and heavy armor. I think that'd be pretty fun. Don't know how I'd do it though. The way I've been thinking is to essentially go sort of carrier with fighters and just go for a lot of broadswords and warthogs and have them, say like on the legions, in support of onslaught battleships and just sort of try to blast my way through, I suppose. I don't know how well it would work. The sort of low-tech sort of bombers that the hegemony sort of tend to have are not good against the remnants at all. I was gonna say, like, why is this battle not being won? It's because he's running away. Except he's not running away, he's just running into the corner of the map. It does annoy me when this happens. Come on, matey, come on. To be honest, I am kind of glad that I've got onto this video by now, because, and I'll admit this, I'm kind of bored of using Astrals. I've been using them for like a month, trying out various things, but by God is it just not as fun as I thought it would be. I like using the battleships because the battleships are the ones on the front lines, they're the ones doing all the fighting. With carriers, it's just sort of like, alright, I'm going to stick fighters into them, and then I'm going to have something else do the actual fighting to defend for them, and the carrier itself might as well just be a placeholder for any, to be honest, any other carrier in the game, because it's the strike craft and the battleships that are doing all the fighting, and the carriers are just sort of sitting back trying not to die. So it's kind of, in their own way, not interesting. And that might just be. In any events, no. I won't record that, because while I do enjoy farming remnants for their fucking AI spines, that's nuts. So, until next time, bye. Bye.